Welcome in. It's another edition of Where the 99 Lead. I'm Andrew Joyce, your host. Where the 99 Lead, brought to you by the University of Pikeville. We talk all things regarding the University of Pikeville. Academics, athletics, study abroad programs, things that take folks from campus to the community, those 99 steps. And one of the newest programs involving the University of Pikeville, Scholar House. That's our topic today. I'm joined by Samantha Rogers, new director of the Scholar House of Central Appalachia. Samantha, welcome to Where the 99 Lead.
Thanks for having me.
We want to talk about Scholar House. We're going to talk about it in detail.
Okay.
We've seen the construction. We'll get there. Let's talk about Samantha Rogers. How did you arrive in this position as director of Scholar House?
Well, I was born and raised here in Eastern Kentucky. I love the mountains, and no matter where I end up, this will always be home to me. Moved here about 6 years ago from Inez. I worked for the city of Pikeville for a few years as the director of the Artisan Alliance, which was a nonprofit organization. I left to pursue another opportunity, but soon realized that it wasn't as rewarding as working with a nonprofit. So I was delighted when the position opened and overjoyed when I was chosen.
Scholar House, a lot of folks may have heard Scholar House. They don't understand exactly what Scholar House is all about, but we were there at the groundbreaking for Scholar House in 2012. Seems like yesterday, literally. But let's talk about the history and the mission of Scholar House and how it came into existence before we talk about the opening.
Okay. Well, the mission is to help end the cycle of poverty by providing single parents the resources they need to complete a 4-year degree.
Right.
I believe it all started when Jim Ramsey, the president of U of L, recommended to Dr. Hurley that he tour the Family Scholar House, which is our affiliate in Louisville.
Yes.
Dr. Hurley recognized that there was a need for such an educational program back here in this region, and he got up with Donovan Blackburn and the city of Pikeville and the Pike County government and got the ball rolling. The city was instrumental in securing the site. Judge Rutherford was very supportive, and it's really just what happens when community leaders come together for the greater good.
Yeah, it is much larger than the University of Pikeville. It is much larger than even the city and county. This truly is a regional effort.
Absolutely.
For Scholar House. The mission, educating, providing for single parents, not just single mothers, as many people immediately think. It's not just single mothers, but single parents who are looking to get an education and break that cycle. They're in a situation that they need some help. Scholar House, that's what it's all about. And I know there is a model program in Louisville. Have you had a chance to visit that program?
I have. I've been in Louisville for training over the past few weeks. They actually have 4 different sites, and it's really interesting. They face a lot of homelessness,
Sure.
Which we don't necessarily have here. We have some, but not as much. And so our program will be a little different, and we'll have a different demographic here, but
Right.
the fundamentals are the same.
And those fundamentals, of course, providing housing.
Providing housing, academic advising,
Sure.
case management. We really just want to be a support system to these parents and students and just help provide them with whatever they may need to succeed.
When we think about single parents, okay, we now have children. We have classes. We have to be in class. We have to have childcare. How does that play into Scholar House?
Well, there's a resource center located directly behind the Scholar House. So literally they will be able to walk across the parking lot to take their child to childcare, which will be provided by the YMCA.
It's incredible. It's an incredible part of the program. Of course, Scholar House, we've seen the construction in downtown. You see the construction site, you see the buildings coming together, and amazing how quickly the construction has taken place, truly changing the shape of downtown in that area. But the housing units, are those the most visible from Hamley Boulevard as we drive through?
Yeah.
Those are the actual housing units.
Yes, the large facility in front.
How many housing units are we talking?
45 units.
And those will be open when?
They should be completed the end of October, early November.
Wow. It's upon us.
A year, only a year.
It is upon us. Now, you talk about the Resource Center. That's the building behind, and you say across the parking lot from the housing units. What else will be located in the Resource Center?
The Resource Center will house the child care facility, classrooms, office space, a donation center, and a computer lab.
Understand also there might be some community meeting space in the facility as well,
Absolutely.
where the community can come together. But Child Care Center, and it's going to be taken care of by the Pikeville YMCA on site.
Sherry Riddle and her staff will be running the child care facility. We are thrilled to have them on board. She has such a hard-working, dedicated group.
We're talking with Samantha Rogers, Director of Scholar House of Central Appalachia. It's a cooperative program between the University of Pikeville, the City of Pikeville, Pike County, and a lot of community partners throughout Eastern Kentucky and Central Appalachia. And it models after Scholar Houses in Louisville. It's been a very successful program. We talk about single parents given opportunities to continue or begin their education. I would imagine parents that need help. They need housing to break the cycle of poverty. Let's talk about the building again. Of course, amazing facility. About a year and we're open, ready to open. Let's talk about the cost and how the project was funded.
The cost is roughly $11 million. It was funded by the Kentucky Housing Corporation, and the Pikeville Housing Authority will actually issue vouchers to the residents to help them pay their rent.
And 45 housing units, how quickly will they fill?
We're hoping, we're now accepting applications.
Yes.
And we're hoping that they fill quickly.
Opens, say, the end of October.
End of October, 1st
Spring
of November.
semester starts at the University of Pikeville, January. Students could be in those housing units and attending classes in January.
Absolutely.
It's amazing the progress that's been made with Scholar House. The Scholar House program, of course, for single parents looking to head back to school. Let's talk about some of the eligibility guidelines. Pikeville Housing Authority will handle the housing vouchers, but let's talk about the eligibility guidelines. Who is eligible? Who is Scholar House aimed at directly?
Well, obviously, you have to be a single parent, which would mean that you would need primary custody of at least one child under the age of 18.
Okay.
You have to be 18 years of age, but there's no maximum age limit. I mean, there's a lot of single parents out there that are just now starting or going back to finish their college degree. Also, like you said, we accept both male and female parents.
Are there income guidelines?
The income guidelines are set by the Housing Authority. So really, you would probably need to contact them for more information with that.
Not necessarily aimed at, say, the reality shows Teen Mom, where you see those very young, new single mothers or single dads for that case. But it could be someone that maybe has more than one child, that has a couple of children. They're newly single. Non-traditional students in their 20s or even in their 30s who are going back to school because they need that to take that next step in life, to be able to get a degree and change the outcome, take that next step, providing those opportunities for those that may have more than one child. What type of housing units are available? I would imagine that these are two. Are there 3-bedroom housing units available as well?
We have 37 2-bedroom apartments, which are roughly 850 square feet. And then we have 8 3-bedroom apartments, which are a little closer to 1,000 square feet.
Sure.
We have 3 handicap accessible apartments and 1 for the hearing and vision impaired.
Wow. Sounds like all bases are being covered.
Yes, absolutely.
Scholar House opens late October. You've been in the building recently?
I was in there yesterday.
And I would imagine you walk through daily.
Absolutely.
I can see the excitement on your face about this program. You've had some time to spend in Louisville and be around the Scholar Houses there in the Louisville area that this program modeled from. What have you learned from your time in Louisville and being around those Scholar Houses that you feel like will help you when Scholar House opens here?
Well, visiting the Louisville campuses, their residents are so inspiring. I go in and I think I'm overwhelmed and I've had such a hard day, and to hear their stories and what they have overcome is remarkable. They've been through things that we could never fathom. A lot of these students have came out of domestic violence situations.
Sure.
And so, probably I've learned, just to act as a support system and to be there for them and in whatever capacity they may need me to be.
Right. And you're going to be on campus here
Mm-hmm.
at Scholar House of Central Appalachia when it opens here. Will you actually be living on site, or you'll just be on site, I guess, many hours a day?
On site many hours a day. I do have an office here at the university, but I'll also have an office down there.
So you'll be acting as a support system for those residents here. And I would imagine, without knowing who the first residents are, really don't know what to expect, but you could see those same type of situations that you've seen in Louisville. We're not immune to those here in Eastern Kentucky, but domestic violence situations, they happen, and they happen in our area as well.
Mm-hmm.
What other type of support services are available to residents outside of college tuition help? Students would attend the University of Pikeville. Daycare services being offered there, and obviously the housing, but what other type of support services are offered or are planned maybe for the future?
Well, academic advising, counseling. Now, I'm not a counselor, but I can refer them to the appropriate person.
Sure.
Case management, and really just anything that they may need. If they need financial assistance, maybe just getting them in contact with the appropriate person so that they can have their needs met.
Academic help, where does that come from?
The academic help, I would refer them, we accept students from any accredited college, whether it's the University of Pikeville,
Mm-hmm.
Big Sandy. I would refer them to their academic advisors and help however I could, of course.
And of course, obviously, single parents that may be fighting through a financial situation, they don't have access. You mentioned earlier computer lab there on site in the resource center, not just for the parents who might be college students, but also for the children
Yeah.
who could be elementary or even high school students as well. Those are available for them also.
The University of Pikeville is actually going to furnish each apartment with their own personal computer.
Wow. That's an incredible benefit, and I think that's something that there are families that are in Central Appalachia that don't have that same type of benefit. So I can see this, the application stacking up for this program. I know there are a lot of single parents out there that need this kind of help. If someone did want to apply for this program, before we wrap up, and we will in just a little bit, we still have more to talk about. By the way, you're tuned to Where the 99 Lead, and we're joined by Samantha Rogers, Director of Scholar House of Central Appalachia, helping single parents go back to school with housing and heading back to school at the University of Pikeville or beginning school at the University of Pikeville. If someone wanted to apply for this program, what's their first step?
Contacting me.
Okay.
They could reach me at 606-218-5967 or email at samantharogers@upike.edu. But the first step is simply to complete an intake form and just
Right.
get their basic information.
Basic information taken care of. Step 2.
Step 2 would be orientation.
Okay.
And that's where we would go over the guidelines and what we expect from them and what they can expect from us in return.
Sure. And step 3.
An assessment.
Okay.
And
What's involved in an assessment?
the assessment is just a brief overview of where they've came from and what obstacles they've faced, and that way I can have an idea of how to help them.
And from there, where do we go?
Well, hopefully into housing.
Okay.
Hopefully into housing.
And where does college admission take place?
Well, during orientation, the students we would go over the guidelines, of course, and they have to maintain a 2.0 GPA, be enrolled full-time at a local accredited college with only 25% of their classes being online.
Okay.
And they're required to bring in their school schedules so we can monitor, of course, that they are carrying a full load.
Right.
and we monitor their academic progress throughout the term.
Sounds like a simple application process.
It is a simple process.
All they have to do, first step, contact you, Samantha Rogers at Scholar House of Central Appalachia, and they can contact you through the University of Pikeville as well. What will it mean to be a part of a Scholar House family? Do you see this being a family type residential facility?
We are really encouraging community support and involvement. You know, we want the community to help, but we really want the residents to interact with one another and to be a support system. You know, maybe they can help one another babysit or run errands or whatever. We just want them to know that they do have a support system and that they're not alone.
Right.
Anything that we can do to help them achieve their college goals.
I absolutely see that this could become a community. You talk about community involvement. What will Scholar House need from the community upon its completion and opening? What type of needs will it have from members of the community, or maybe community organizations who want to be a part, maybe volunteer or help out? What type of needs will there be?
Well, obviously, with any nonprofit organization, financial donations would be greatly appreciated.
Sure.
This is going to be the first apartment or housing for most of these students.
Right.
So we'll need furniture donations, food, clothing, any type of donation. And we plan on having some classes and programs there. So maybe the extension office could come in and give a cooking class, or, you know, they have art therapy classes in the Louisville offices, and they are very popular.
What have you picked up from the Louisville Scholar Houses that maybe you hadn't considered until you were actually there and involved in training there, that you said, you know, this will work at home?
Just that there's a need for it, and we do face similar challenges, but mostly that the students and residents of the Scholar House are there because they want to provide a better quality of life for their children.
Sure. That's
the one common factor.
I would imagine that's something that's not specific to Louisville. I think that's what we'll see here as well. Due for completion again when?
The end of October.
I am blown away by that.
It's amazing.
Because we saw the groundbreaking, and in just a year's time, the building has gone up. Construction has been amazing to watch the construction that's taken place in downtown. And the Resource Center building also will be open same time?
No, the Resource...
I thought it was a little bit behind the housing units.
The Resource Center is expected to open probably in January, the first of the year.
Right, but still in time for residents to be able to utilize those services that are available there. Scholar House of Central Appalachia Director Samantha Rogers, our guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. Scholar House coming to the University of Pikeville, to the Pikeville, Pike County and Central Appalachia community, and it's for single parents that are looking to go to school or go back to school and to better their life. And I think it's a tremendous program. It's one of the most amazing programs that I think that we've seen newly created here in our area, and it's something that I think we'll see tremendous growth from as well. 45 housing units available, applications being accepted now, and to start the application process, they need to contact you. Let's get that information again.
Absolutely. They can contact me by phone, 606-218-5967, or email Samantha Rogers at upike.edu.
Can't miss that. Samantha Rogers at upike.edu. Samantha, congratulations. I know you're excited about the opening. You've been spending time in Louisville in training. Are you back here now full time, still wrapping things up there?
I'm still traveling back and forth, a lot to learn, but I'm easing my way back permanently.
How much staff will you have once it opens?
Well, right now it's just me. Hopefully next year we can get a few more.
All right, let's get some community support behind Scholar House of Central Appalachia. Samantha Rogers, congratulations.
Thank
Tremendous
you.
program, and anything that we can do in the community to get the word out, let us know.
Thank you.
Samantha Rogers, Director of Scholar House of Central Appalachia, your guest on this edition of Where the 99 Lead. Where the 99 Lead, brought to you by the University of Pikeville, the leading university of Central Appalachia.